bruh. Look, I have been officially asked for more horror stories. Hey, you know the deal, man. You ask, you shall receive. You know what I'm saying? So, let me just not do more. Let's just get into the reaction, bro. All right. I need to stop choking on my spit and my tongue. I feel like, nah. Screw this, bro. I actually feel like. Every time I'm trying to say something, it just, like, I just be like, bro, you know what? Just shut up. Bam! 6 creepy uncle stories. Bro, I'm 100% gonna be the best, like, one of the best uncles out there, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm actually so excited to, like, for the next generation, bro. Like, bro, I shouldn't even be talking like this, bro. I need to live my freaking life, bro. But, bro, I'm trying to be like that one lit uncle, bro. Not the lit uncle that be, like, spending all the money on the kids, like, just the cool uncle that's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, drink this drink behind your father's back. You know what I'm saying? Alright, let's just,
He wasn't my blood uncle. He was my biological aunt's brother-in-law.
Oh, no. See, off the rip, like, me personally, bro, oh my gosh, I'm so... Thank you, Jesus, Lord, my Savior, that I'm not a woman. Okay? I would hate to be a woman. Like, seriously, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all do it, but I would hate to be a woman, bro. Bro, women are at such a disadvantage in life. It's so crazy. I mean, in certain aspects, it's so weird, bro. It's so weird because it's like they could get away with certain things for being good looking, but it's like a double-edged sword. It's like it's either you're a baddie. It's either you're praised for being a baddie, or you're hurt for being a baddie, or you're exploited. Like, bro, it's just too much, bro. It's too much, bro. Cause I know, bro, if I was a girl, I'd be a bit okay. What am I saying, bro? Like, bro, just play the video, bro.
My mom used to date sketchy guys when I was a teenager. I didn't live with her much because she was a horrible role model. So my grandmother raised me for a big chunk of my life. And I am thankful for that, because she taught me many values and how to be a lady. I later moved in with my father and stepmother and my half-siblings when I was around 15, and I had a wonderful life with them. But let's rewind the clock to when I was 14. At the time, I lived with my mother and her sleazy boyfriend named Dale.
Bro, does she, like, need some eye drops or something? Like, yo, like, are you good, dude?
With my mother and her sleazy boyfriend named Dale. We were on the second story of a duplex. Her boyfriend had this friend who would come over occasionally.
Bro, it's like are these people like drug addicts or something? What is wrong with their eyes? Is he the killer? Am I getting spoiled already, bro? Why is his eyes like that, bro? This dude is on Mars right now, bro. Look at his black ass lips, bro. Oh my gosh, that is disgusting. Damn.
Who looked just like the white guy.
This is like you will never be able to force me to smoke a cigarette, bro. You would have to literally tie me up. Like, you still couldn't make me force a cigarette, because I'm not breathing that in, bro. This is what cigarettes do to you, bro. Look at his lips. And I bet his teeth are yellow, bro. 100%, bro.
From Jerky Boys.
What? Jerky Boys? Bro, what is wrong with this guy?
Occasionally. Who looked just like the white guy from Jerky Boys.
Oh, I'm tripping.
Same hair, too. He always creeped me out because he kept staring at me, and I would always catch him in the act. My aunt lived down the block, and I would visit her quite frequently, because she was one of those cool aunts. She was in her 20s, super fun, and had this 1969 Firebird convertible that she would drive around in and blast rock music.
Yeah, I'd be that type of aunt.
I would sometimes run into her brother-in-law.
Uncle.
His name was Jeff. Uncle Jeff. He was renting out her basement.
Maybe Jeff.
I kind of thought he was...
Bro, that was so unfunny, bro. Like,
weird,
what is... Bro?
But an okay guy. So one night at around 11:30, I was home by myself when I get a knock on the door. Our door had a square glass panel toward the top that was painted over, with a small peephole scratched into it. When I looked through, I could see that it was Jeff on the other side. I opened the door. Oh, hey Jeff. What's up? Hey, is your mom or Dale home? No, Mom's at work, and I don't know where Dale is. He then asked me to come downstairs because he wanted to talk to me. This didn't raise any red flags because I considered him family. I was also pretty timid.
Now, W.
Dale. I
Dale.
didn't like saying no to people, especially adults. So I follow him downstairs to the front porch. I see his car is parked and still running, with the headlights on.
Who's in there?
Sitting in the passenger seat with the window rolled down was the other creepy guy I alluded to earlier, Jerky Boy.
Oh, no.
I
Oh,
paused.
not the jerk off. Oh, no.
What's he doing here? Hey, relax. We just want to talk. We wanted to ask you something.
We?
He began to gently...
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why is he so large? Bro, oh my gosh, bro. If you don't get the frick off of me, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. If I was a woman, I'd be so violent, bro. I'd be so violent. Like, literally, first thing I'm doing, if I ever have a daughter, she's going in jiu-jitsu, she's going to Muay Thai. Literally, I'm turning her into a weapon. Ninja, military, whatever, bro. Ain't no way, bro. This is so crazy, bro. This is so crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Me personally, if I'm bro, I mean girl, I'm not even answering the door, bro. This dude is too big, bro. Ain't no way, bro.
guide me toward the car. My adrenaline began pumping, and all of a sudden, I felt something wasn't right. I stopped and pulled back a little, trying my best not to look scared. Jeff kept talking sweetly, running his finger up my shoulder to fix my spaghetti strap.
What?
Oh, it's okay. Just come closer to me. There's no reason to be afraid. I pulled away politely and said, whatever it is you need to ask me, you can ask me right here. He kept trying to convince me just to come to the car and said that if I was too scared, I could just stand in front of the headlights. The second he said that, my stomach did a leap, and my whole body started to feel electrically charged, because I knew if I stood in front of the headlights, I would not be able to see, making it
Wait, see what?
easy for one of them to grab me. At that very moment, I knew I was in a dangerous situation, so I started acting ditzy and dumb, because I was afraid to let them know that I was onto them, and that they were doing something that would land them in prison. And he would just grab me right then and there, cover my mouth, and drag me into the car.
That's good.
So that I
Good
couldn't
tactic.
tell anyone. So I started to playfully joke around, and said that I wasn't wearing shoes, and that I didn't want to step in dog shit. I could see that Jerky Boy was now starting to come out of his car.
Yo, buddy, yo, relax, bro. Yo, this dude better stay, you better stay in that damn car, boy. Shunk your ass, boy. But obviously, in a woman's perspective, she can't intimidate nobody, bro. This is crazy, man. Oh my gosh.
Then, I sprinted back upstairs, running as fast as I could, and locking the door behind me.
Okay.
I was shaking so bad.
Okay.
Not a minute later, Jerky Boy is knocking on the door, and he's
Bro.
looking through the makeshift people.
Bro, jerk off, jerk
He
off.
starts saying that he needs to talk to my mom's boyfriend, Dale. I say that he's not here, so he stops knocking, but I don't hear him descending the stairs. 30 seconds after that, Jeff comes up and knocks, and is talking to me through the door, saying that he needed to talk to Dale, and then tries opening the door.
Bro, Dale's not
However,
here, bro.
It's locked. For the third time, I repeat that Dale wasn't there. Oh, I'm sorry if we scared you, sweetheart. We just wanted to talk to you. That was bullshit. I was afraid that they were going to try to kick the door in, so I decided that I was going to try and sneak out the back. I walked toward the back door, and thank God, I looked out the window first because I saw the silhouette of Jerky Boy standing downstairs at the back
Oh
door.
my gosh!
So now, Jeff was
Why
at the
are they
front door
plotting like
trying
this,
to
bro?
sweet talk me, and his friend was waiting out back. I know what you're probably thinking. Call the cops. I don't know why I didn't. I know it's stupid. I think it was because I was so naive and timid. Jeff was my uncle after all. I was also questioning myself and my own judgments, because Jeff kept reassuring me at the front door. So I returned to the front door, and Jeff is still there, telling me that he felt horrible for scaring me. I then tell him, trying my best to disguise any hint of fear in my voice, that everything was okay, and that I was so sorry that I got scared. I tried my best to placate him and convince him that I believed what he told me. They eventually left, and once the coast was clear, I snuck out and ran to a friend's house. I didn't tell them anything about what happened. I just said that I was scared and wanted to stay there until my mom got home. I did tell my mother about what happened, but nothing ever came of it.
Oh, drunk ass
And
mother.
thankfully I moved into my dad's house 45 miles away 3 months later. I never saw those two men again.
Oh, that's it. Oh, okay. Ain't no really bad happened, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like off rip. Once I seen that dude's red eyes, bro, I knew he was up to no good, bro. This dude had the Hood Sharingan White edition, bro. Like off rip. Your name is Jerky Boy. You gotta go, bro.
When I was in elementary school, my parents worked long hours and wouldn't get off until it was very late in the day. I would stay in an after-school program that took place in our cafeteria. Not because I had to, but because it was more conducive with my parents' schedule. It usually consisted of doing homework and playing board games until around 5 p.m. Even then, some kids would be waiting around the pickup area for an hour or even more, and I would join them while a chaperone waited with us. I was almost always the last kid to be picked up, so whenever I would leave, so would the assigned chaperone. One day, the chaperone really needed to use the restroom. That day we were the last ones in the pickup area. He told me not to leave until he got back. So I was sitting there on the ground against the wall, when suddenly, a car pulled up. A bearded man in a flannel shirt and dark sunglasses lowered the passenger window and said, "Come on, let's go. Your dad can't pick you up today. I'm your uncle." I just sat there gripping my backpack, staring at him, completely frozen. I didn't recognize him, and I was scared, so I didn't say anything.
Like, bro, who is you, bro? How you just do that? How do you just do that? How you just... Imagine some random dude just pulls up in the whip. Yo, I'm finna pick your ass up. I'm your uncle. Come on. Buddy, who are you? I don't know you.
The man seemed to get impatient, and with a stern voice, he said, "Get in the car now. Your dad got hurt. We need to go see him. Hurry."
What's my dad's last name? Buddy. Since you're my dad's brother, how about you go help my dad first, and then you two come back and pick me up? Buddy, how about that? Your dad needs our help. What am I supposed to do? I'm a little girl, bruh. What am I? You go help him. With your Johnny Depp-ass beard, bruh.
I still sat there, not moving. It was then that the chaperone returned, and as soon as he appeared, the car sped off. The chaperone wasn't able to get the license plate number, and told my parents about it when they came to pick me up. From that day on, the school took extra precautions and assigned more chaperones to watch the children after school, which was a good thing. But I still wonder what would have happened if I believed him and naively went with him. He also must have been watching us for some time, because he showed up as soon as the chaperone left. This could have easily happened to a student who was younger than me, who wouldn't have known better. It's sad, but not everyone knows about stranger danger.
That's actually insane to think about, bro. This dude was literally like, bro was literally like on the hunt. Like if you actually take it in, think of how like lions hunt, bro. They wait for the older, they wait for the older heads to like be a distance away, then they going for the young ones, bro. But bro, you see all these animals, they never hunt the actual big animals. I mean, sometimes if they're like on their ones, but they always go for the young ones first, bro. This dude is like this dude was literally on the hunt, bro.
When I was 15 years old, my great uncle passed away due to a sudden heart attack. My father and I had to clean out his house since no one else in the family could do it. My uncle was loved by all of us and was one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. My father was broken up about losing him.
Finally, some dudes with some regular eyes, bro. Like, it took us 3 stories to get to some people who don't take drugs. Like,
but
how does
the
that work?
job had to be done. His house was very neat and well organized, so we would be done in a day or 2 at most. I remember as a kid, we would play over at his house sometimes, whenever my parents had to work. He would allow us to play anywhere in the house, except for the attic. He made it very clear to us that going up and down the ladder to the attic was very dangerous. Therefore, we never went up there, and I never thought anything of it. Even though he would go up there sometimes for about 30 minutes, then come back down, never actually bringing anything with him or taking anything up there.
Oh no, bro's gooning.
While we were cleaning,
Oh my
I decided
gosh.
to finally go up to the
Bro had a goon. Bro, this dude. Yo, this dude had a gooner den up there, bro.
attic just to see what was up there. It was completely empty,
Yo.
except for 2 boxes that were tucked away in a corner. Thinking nothing of it, I picked up the
Magazines,
dusty
bro.
boxes and took them downstairs to the living room.
Don't touch my magazines.
I opened them expecting to see some old papers because the boxes were so light. Instead, what I found were pictures. Hundreds
I knew
hundreds
it.
of photos.
Yo, bro, I knew it, bro. How I just predict that, bro? Come on, bro. Of course that's his gooner den, bro. Of course. Who wouldn't have a gooner den? I'm joking. I don't do that stuff, bro. Man, that shit weird.
Of 3 different women. From all the angles, you could clearly tell they didn't know they were being photographed. He had pictures from daytime to night and from multiple locations. In some, they were undressed, and in others, they were doing everyday things like cleaning and cooking.
Okay.
My heart started to beat faster
I ain't gonna lie, it's a little, it's kind of different, a little different content. It's not really magazines, but
and faster. Looking closer, I realized one of the women was his wife, who had passed away several years earlier. I looked on the back of the pictures, and they were named. I didn't want to freak my family out without knowing what exactly I was looking at. So out of curiosity, I found the other 2 names of the women on Facebook. I was glad to find out that they were alive and okay. Once finding that out, I showed the pictures to my father, and he was just as shocked as I was. He took the boxes, and I've never seen them again,
come on,
and
Unc.
we never spoke of it. Still,
Oh, you little rat! You ruined my... Bro, I know bro was fuming when he went up there and he didn't find them shits, bro. He's like, damn it! Who took my content? Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Dude got his dead wife and in a box with a bunch of other random naked women. Bro, I don't, like, it's so weird to take, like, bro, how does it, like, first of all, that one picture of the cooking lady, how did he even get that picture without her knowing? Because she was clearly in the kitchen. Where is bro hiding at? Bro, like, bro's around the kitchen counter like this, bro. Like, yo, dude. Bro, why are people so weird, bro?
Find myself wondering why he had those pictures, and if he took them himself or had someone else take them. I loved my great uncle very much, and I couldn't imagine him being anything less than a stand-up guy. I don't know what to make of this, to be honest.
Wait. Ooh. Bro, I'm not even listening, bro. This is his dead uncle's stash. It's not even his alive uncle, bro. So this was his, like, this is his back in his prime gooner days, bro.
I know this may not seem like a very
crazy.
scary story, but it most certainly freaked my father and I out pretty bad.
Nah, that's so tough, bro. Imagine, bro, you're dead. You find out your dead uncle was a pro gooner. Oh man, that's just weird, bro. Like, you can't even confront the dude about it. You just gotta be like, damn, like, bro was just like this to the very end. Like, bro never got rid of it. To the day he croaked. He never got rid of the goon stash, bro.
Before I begin, I'm from Russia. My English isn't that great, but I'll try my best. I was really struggling on whether or not I wanted to share this story, because I am still disturbed and shaken up to this day. I grew up in a wealthy family. Both of my parents had enough money to get me into the best school.
Whoa! Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a basement. That's 5 floors. Yo, what? You were living in a 4-story house, cut? This is literally a small building. But yo, what?
I grew up in a wealthy family. Both of my parents had enough money.
But I'm not gonna lie, I would not live in the woods like these, bro. Look at how secluded. Like, bro's literally living behind a mountain. I mean, that's pretty sick though, low-key. I mean, okay, look, if I was like a millionaire, if I'm a millionaire, I'll probably get like a crib like this. But it would be one of my cribs. You know what I'm saying? Just to aura farm, just to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is literally just an aura farm type of house, bro. You know what I'm saying?
To get me into the best schools.
But I want to actually live here.
And I remember going to many places during the summer breaks. And to this day, those are still my fondest memories. My parents had steady jobs, and they were mostly happy together. However, my father was never very fond of my mother's side of the family, especially my uncle and both of my grandparents. For whatever reason, they didn't get along with my dad. My mom tried pleasing everyone, lending them money, even though they would never pay her back. However, things got to a point where they turned on each other. My uncle really wanted my grandparents' house, even though he already had a huge house of his own. However,
Wow.
the house would go to my mother after they passed away, to square off any debts. He didn't really like this arrangement, but couldn't do anything about it. As fate would have it, both of my grandparents died in the same year. My grandfather had a condition where his left side was completely paralyzed. He slipped into a coma for a week before he woke up. His last words to this day have resonated with me. He told my uncle that he never got what he wanted because he was a greedy bastard. A couple of hours later.
Bro, imagine that's your last words. Hey, listen to me. Listen to me. You will never get the house, you greedy bastard. Oh, that probably was cinematic as shit, bro. Bro, that reminds me of a scene, bro. Oh man. Bro, there's a show that did the same thing as that, bro. Oh my gosh. What was it? Damn it. It's like Shifu, bro. Like Shifu, bro. When Shifu was fighting Tai Lung, bro. Bro, I remember that shit, bro. It's when Shifu was fighting Tai Lung. He's like, oh, you'll never get this girl. Oh, man, I'm so smart.
12 hours later, my grandfather passed away. My grandmother's health deteriorated not long after that. My mother became very depressed after this and was diagnosed with breast cancer the next year.
Damn.
Thankfully, she is still alive today, but she
Okay.
is not the same as she used to be. She had to stop going to work because she couldn't handle the stress. My father tried opening up a new business because he made the mistake of listening to my cousin. My father was hesitant at first, but my mother convinced him to do it. Since she didn't have a job, this could be something that she could occupy her time with. My father invested a lot of money into opening up this new business. My cousin was also heavily involved.
In drugs. Like, Buddy's eyes are purple, bro. This is literally not even red. This is like magenta, bro. Like, what's wrong with this dude, bro?
It influenced my father in all his investments. By the time he finalized everything, our financial future depended on this business being successful. He was risking a lot. By this time I was in high school, while my sister was going to college. This was when the worst possible thing happened to my family. The business that my father invested so much money into did not go as planned, and he ended up closing it down.
Damn.
He tried selling it off, but nobody bought it for the longest time. We were now broke and asking loan sharks for money. We couldn't go anywhere. I was too embarrassed to tell my friends or anyone else for some reason. While all this was happening, my uncle had moved into my grandparents' house.
I thought he wasn't allowed there.
Calls.
Hey! What's wrong? Hey, get out of there! Hey! Where are you, like, what are you doing? Bro, this dude has his own mansion. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Gramps is right. This dude is a greedy bastard. Bastard. This dude has his own mansion and still moved into their house, bro. Like, what? You want a goon in there or something? What is the difference? Like, it's still, like, what is this obsession with this mansion, bro? What is in there, bro?
Will clearly stated the house belonged to my mother. My uncle built a fence so that nobody could trespass. The police were no help at all, and we had no money to hire someone to help us move him out of there. And we also
What do you mean help you? Were you gonna take him out? Yo, bro said help us move him out of there like it's some exterminator project. Oh nah, bro. Me personally though, I ain't lie. If he wants to play that game, he wants to ignore my calls, put up a fence. I mean, I swear you could call the police. But, I mean, I guess that's out of the window. If that's out of the window, bro, just move it to his house. I mean, you know, like, it's a mansion. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? You know, just move it to his house. You know what I'm saying?
couldn't fight him in court. As bad as things were, the worst.
Because he
was
clearly
yet to
doesn't
come.
like that house.
We ended up being evicted from our house, unable to pay our
Damn!
mortgage with most of our things now belonging to the loan sharks. I spent an entire week homeless in the winter with my parents, and if you know anything about Russia, it gets rather cold there. These were the most painful days of my life.
Bro, go
We
in
ended up
his
staying in a
house, bro.
shelter.
Break in his house.
My mother tried ending her own life a couple of times, but we would always
No.
intervene. No one wanted to help my family. Until one day I got a call from a childhood friend. Her name was Olga. Her family agreed to take me in, until my parents got back on their feet. Olga's father had a close friend who was a lawyer, and said that he would look into the case regarding
Yo.
my grandparents' house.
Bro, can bro go Super Saiyan or something? That's some sick ass hair, bro.
My mother was the rightful owner, but the Russian police would not lift a finger until they had a court order, which would cost money, which is something we didn't have.
Wait,
And that's
what?
which would cost money. Police would not lift a finger. My mother was the rightful owner, but the Russian police would not lift a finger until they had a court order, which would cost money,
What?
which is something we didn't have.
What type of
And
dumbass?
that's how things work over here. For the
So you can't you can't make someone stop doing this illegal thing because the other person has to pay you to do it. Bro, this is why I'm not moving to Russia, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, this is literally why, bro. That's so stupid.
The next 6 months, I stayed at Olga's place, and we grew closer than ever, and even started dating. During this time, I eventually went back to school. The lawyer told my parents that he would be able to repossess my grandparents' house. On the day of the hearing, it took the judge 2 seconds after reviewing my grandfather's will. But my uncle still refused to cooperate, which was a big mistake.
Gosh, you damn junkie!
Here in Russia, the police do not mess around. I remember.
Oh,
watching
now
him
they don't mess
drive
around.
through the
Right,
snow,
right.
beaten until he was unconscious, and then thrown into the back of a squad car.
Damn!
Now,
They
you'd
cooked
think
his
this
ass.
is where things get better. But as soon as my uncle was out of jail, he tried everything in his power to make us homeless again. He hired some people to break in and rob us. Rocks would be thrown at our windows,
Bro.
and we would be harassed in public.
I'm not gonna lie, yo, Unc, you got to go. Unc gotta go, bro. He is too much of a nuisance. Like, this is actually so annoying. This is so annoying, bro. Move, bro. You're like 40, bro. You're pushing 50. Get out of here, bro. Go live your own life, man. Why is this guy dedicating his whole life to ruining one family, bro? They must have. This is definitely a childhood thing, bro. This must have been like a Scar Mufasa type of situation, bro. The way the uncle's going this hard, bro. Must be, bro. That's the only explanation, bro.
We tried reporting him, but we had no proof. My grandparents' house was very isolated, and not too many people were passing by, which made it an easy target. During a walk, my sister was almost assaulted by some men,
Oh, no.
but thankfully, she was able to get away. Once my father was financially stable again,
This dude is hiring people to harass bro's girl? Hold up. Nah, cause like, what is Russia even about, bro?
private detective to monitor our house. They captured a photo of my uncle breaking into our house. My guess is that he ran out of money to hire people to do it for him.
Bro.
We reported this to the police and showed them the photos. He was charged with breaking and entering, among many other things, and was sentenced to 15 years in prison.
Double it.
My cousins and my aunt tried to contact us and would leave messages on our answering machine, calling us the worst names possible, and that we should have died in the freezing cold, and that someday we are going to pay for everything that we did. But eventually they stopped reaching out to us. Thank God for that.
Bro.
Since the events of this story, I have finished college and was able to start a successful business with some friends of mine, and I'm doing well for myself. I just hope that whenever my uncle gets out of prison, he doesn't try to start anything with my family again.
Nah. Unc definitely gotta go. I ain't gonna lie, and his family too, bro. Not gonna lie, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, you should have died in the cold. Buddy, he's literally like, bro, you're not the rightful king. You don't own the house. It was never yours. This dude's having a vendetta on something that was never his in the beginning, bro. We never took nothing from you, buddy. You had your own mansion. Like, what? Yo, this dude needs to get slapped up, broski. Like, nah, bro. Someone gotta smack some sense into bro. Like, seriously. Literally, like, he needs a 1-2, bro. Damn.
One morning, when I was in elementary school, probably 3rd or 4th grade, I was awoken by my mom in a rush. She had overslept. And since she always woke me up in the mornings, this meant that I too had overslept. And now there was no way I would be ready in time to catch the bus. My school started at 8 a.m., and the bus pickup time was around 7 o'clock. But it was already 6:40, and I was still in my pajamas, and I hadn't even had breakfast yet. So my mom decided that today, she would just tell the bus driver to go ahead, and she would take me to school that day, which would give me plenty of time to get ready. So I'm sitting there in the dining room, eating breakfast, still in my pajamas, and it's now around 6:50. We hear the bus pull up, about 10 minutes earlier than usual. My mom peeks her head out of the door into the foggy morning and waves the bus on. She closes the door and comes back inside, but the bus does not pull away. A short time later, we hear a knock at the door. My mom opens it and finds a man in a bus driver's uniform. He explains that he's a substitute driver because the regular guy called in sick. He tells my mom he knows he's a few minutes early, explaining that he wanted an early start since he didn't know the route too well. My mom explains to him that she's going to take me to school herself since we had woke up late. The man gets visibly upset and says that he could wait for a few minutes since he's already running ahead of schedule.
Bro, what is... Okay, bro. Alright, bro. Alright. So you mean to tell me this dude purchased a school bus to pick up children? What are we doing, man? Genuinely, what are we doing? This guy purchased a school bus to act like a school bus driver so he could snatch children. Bro, what? Like, dude.
Since he's already running ahead of schedule, my mom insists and says that I won't be ready to go in a few minutes and tells him to go on ahead. I remember that the man seemed angry about this, but turned around, got back on the bus, and left. I returned to eating my breakfast, and I still don't have my school clothes on at this point. But at 7 a.m. sharp, another bus pulls up to my house. Mom thought it was weird and goes outside to talk to them. She comes back inside, looking absolutely terrified, but doesn't say anything about it, and just tells me to finish up and start getting ready for school. At the time, I didn't know what happened, but Mom would end up explaining a few years later. When she went to the second bus, she found that it was being driven by the regular bus driver, and it was full of the other kids that are usually on my route. The other bus was empty, by the way. My mom asked the driver about the substitute and about him calling in sick. "I never called in sick. There's no substitute driver on my route," he said. The driver immediately called dispatch in a panic and told my mom to go back inside and call the police to report this incident, which she did without me knowing. There was absolutely no one covering for my bus driver that day. Whoever it was most likely a kidnapper.
Buddy, how, bro, why don't you, put this effort into something actually valuable for your life, bro? Bro literally purchased a school bus vehicle. A vehicle, bro. 20 seats in that bus, bro. Bruh, you put all this work, you're knocking door to door like a salesman. Just to get some kids, bro? Really? Genuinely, bro. Are you even human? I mean, clearly you are. If you're that, what's it called? If you're that in depth, bro, that's got, only a human mind could do some maniacal shit like this, bro. What? Bro tried to act like a school bus. Bro bought a school bus!
This happened in the 90s. When I was growing up, my mom was a horrible addict.
Yeah, I could tell.
She barely took care
You
of
like you don't even gotta show all the drugs. I could tell. I could tell everyone in these stories except for that one. This guy is drug addicts. All right.
me as a kid. At the time,
Wait, hold up. What is this for? What? I mean, I know these are pills. This is drinks, but what is this? This is like a squirter type of. Like these are like eye drops, bro. How you got this two? Bro, you got this 500 milliliter bottle of eye drops, and your eyes are still red. Like, bro, that's when you know you're doing hard drugs, bro. When your eye drops can't even help you, bro. Like, man, that's how you know you're too far gone, bro.
horrible addict. She barely took care of me as a kid. At the time of this incident, I was around 6 or 7 years old, so my awareness and understanding of things may not totally make sense. One night, my mother and I were on a car ride. I wasn't sure where we were going, but it was late at night. Looking back now, I assume it was very late, because there weren't many other cars on the road, and I was resting in the back seat. I don't even remember getting into the car.
I know those
drove
ones,
up to some
bro. You know those ones, bro. You know those ones when back when I would sleep in the car, bro. You know when you'd be sleeping in the car and your parents are driving you home and you're like 6, 7, and then you just teleport in your bed. You just wake up in your bed, like bro. Like this is actually so crazy. Like bro, when you're a kid, you fall asleep like crazily. Like I ain't gonna lie, kids, bro. Damn, I wish I was a kid again, bro.
may not totally make sense. One night, my mother and I were on a car ride. I wasn't sure where we were going, but it was late at night. Looking back now, I assume it was very late, because there weren't many other cars on the road.
Nah, they going to the
and I was
plug.
resting in the back seat. I don't even remember getting into the car. My mom drove up to some sketchy house and left me in the back seat.
Yeah, that's the trap house
It
right
felt
there.
like forever.
Definitely the trap house.
Suddenly, the car door swung open, and someone violently grabbed me by my arm and yanked me out of the car. I began screaming and crying until the man looked me in my eyes and said, "Be quiet. Don't try to run, or I'll kill you."
Yo!
He had a scruffy beard, and he looked absolutely insane.
Dude!
I was scared to death, so I listened. He held me tight by my arm, shut the car door, and walked with me down the street. I looked back at the house my mom was in,
Oh my
hoping that
gosh.
she would come out at the last second and save me. I stared at the house for as long as I could, as the man dragged me further and further away. As I walked down the street, I wanted to cry, but I was still in shock and too scared to do anything. I didn't even know what I was supposed to do, so I sniffled and cried as the man tightened his grip and yelled at me. I can't even describe just how frightened and confused I was. We walked for a little while longer.
Bro, what? Where are they? What type of slums are these, bro? Bro, is this Crackville or something? Okay, look. If your health doesn't, look, this is a major lesson, bro. If your health doesn't concern you, bro, for doing drugs, bro, this should concern you, bro. When you have children, bro, look at what drugs do to people. They let their children just get snatched up by random crackheads in the street. And they don't even care because they're just getting their fix. That's all they care about, bro. This is what drugs do to you, kids. This is what drugs do to you. It makes your children get snapped up by random crackheads. If this is not motivation to quit, I don't know what else to tell you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't care about your own kid, bro, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
And ended up
Seriously.
in projects. It was a bunch of buildings crammed together in a very shitty neighborhood. We walked into one of the buildings and up a flight of stairs. My legs and feet were hurting like hell at this point, but I was still too scared to stop moving or complain. We climbed up another flight of stairs when I saw some random guy smoking a cigarette in the hallway.
Why is the first thing I thought of was Homelander, bro?
Then, without warning, the guy that had kidnapped me fell to the ground. It happened so fast. The next thing I remember The man that was smoking the cigarette was punching and kicking the kidnapper in his head and his face. He then knocked him out cold. The cigarette guy picked up the kidnapper by the back of his jacket and threw him down the stairs.
See, that's when I get to it. I'm in the jets, boy. And I'm taking my mom's car and I'm driving myself home, bro. And I'm not picking my mama, bro. She could go live her life, bro.
It happened so fast, on the stairs. To this day, I still have a fear of falling down the stairs. Once he hit the bottom, blood was everywhere. I still have no idea how the cigarette guy knew I needed help, but I'm glad he did. Maybe he saw the tears in my eyes.
No, that dude owed him some money, bro. That's all it was, bro.
Maybe he just picked up on something and had a bad vibe. But he acted...
Bro's like, Greg, again, like this is the third child this week, bro. Like seriously. Bro's always trying to bring kids to the trap house, bro. I know, bro, it's just that one dude that just always trying to bring some kids to the trap house to do some weird shit, bro. Literally, bro. And the guy's just like, bro, dude, you owe me money and you're here bringing me a child, bro. Like, what is wrong with you, bro? I want my money. I don't want this. Like,
quickly. The cigarette guy was now pacing back and forth, swearing at himself, gritting his teeth, and clenching his fists. I thought maybe he was angry with me, so I started to cry. He then looked at me and said, Okay. Shut up and stop crying. I wasn't as scared of the cigarette guy, but I still didn't want to test him. He began to ask me questions. Why are you out here this late? Where are your parents? And why would you talk to strangers? I was in so much shock and confusion, I couldn't answer his questions correctly. He then asked if I knew my way home, and I told him I didn't.
damn.
In so many words, I tried to tell him about what happened, and somehow with the information I gave him, he knew where my mom's car was. I think he knew the area well enough to figure out where I needed to go.
Mom's a regular.
He told me he would take me back if I promised over and over that I wouldn't tell the police that I saw him or anyone that looked like him.
Oh, for sure.
This guy had an attitude, but I didn't care. I just wanted to go back to my mom.
Oh, we good, buddy.
So I agreed.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even know who you are, bro.
I followed him down the stairs. The bearded man was still lying on the floor, not moving at all. For all I knew, he was dead. The cigarette guy stepped over him, and I followed. He walked outside and nervously looked around. I remember him telling me, "The cops don't like me very much." He walked me out of the complex. He was going so fast that I basically had to jog to keep up with him. I started crying again, and he asked me what was wrong. I told him that my feet hurt, and I remember him sucking his teeth and begrudgingly picking me up and awkwardly carried me in his arms. We walked down the street for a while. I then remember him swearing and running behind a house as a cop car was driving down the road.
Damn, down his ass like that?
And he told me to run to the police cruiser. I tried, but my legs could barely move and continued down the road before I could even remotely get close to it. The cigarette guy kept swearing under his breath as he picked me up again.
I can just imagine this guy like, shit, they found me, shit. You just run to the car, just get out of here. Like, bro, like I'm just imagining all of this in like a crackhead type of accent. Bro, you know the crackhead accent, bro. Like low-key aggressive, but it's not like aggressive. It's not like mad, but it's like aggressive. Like Jesse Pinkman, bro. I just imagine him sound like Jesse, bro.
The cigarette guy kept swearing under his breath as he picked me up again. He took me behind a lot of the houses and hid from every cop car that drove by. In retrospect, I assumed the police were looking for me. He carried me in both arms, running fast down the road. When I saw my mom at her car in the distance, she was surrounded by the police.
Come on, lady.
The cigarette guy set me down and told me to run to where my mom was. Upon seeing her, I got so excited that the pain in my legs disappeared. I ran toward the police and my mother. She picked me up and hugged me tight. After I was reunited with her, the police began to ask me and my mother questions. I don't remember much about their questioning, but I do remember my mother telling them some convoluted story that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, because she was AKA just doing drugs at this trap house. Like, man, oh man, L mom, dude.
Basically told me not to say anything, and being a kid, I didn't. I just sat there and cried.
Hell nah, man. Man, I'm locking your ass up, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You do not take care of me good, bro. You, like, I literally almost died because of you. Bro, don't say nothing. Like, bro, man, I owe you. I mean, I guess you birthed me, whatever. But, like, bro, you getting packed up, bro. Like, take her away, bro. She's doing drugs, guys. Take her away. My mom does drugs, all right? She was in the trap house. All right, bro, I'm just gonna yap, bro. Me personally, bro, man, my mom was doing crack in that house right there, and she let me out, and she left me in this car. Some random dude tried to kill me, and if it wasn't for some next dude that I will not mention because, you know what I'm saying, I'm not no snitch. I'm not gonna snitch on him, but I'm snitching on my mom. If it wasn't for dude, I would have been dead right now, and this is all my mother's fault. Just because she wanted her fixed, bro. Get her gone, bro.
We went home after that. A few days later, my dad comes and picks me up.
Dad?
I told him everything. And after I did, I never stayed with my mom again.
Oh, they're
Looking back
divorced.
to that day as an adult, I never forgave my mom. Not long ago, I asked my dad what he remembers about the situation, and he told me what he thinks happened was that my mom was there to buy drugs, and I was kidnapped by somebody who just happened to be walking down the street. The person that saved me probably had warrants, and was not angry with me, but was just frustrated with the situation that he had to deal with.
Yep.
Imagine being a criminal on the run, and now you have to help a kidnapped girl after you just beat up her kidnapper and possibly killed him. If he would have gotten caught with me, he may have been charged for kidnapping. With my mom lying, and me being in shock and confused, I likely wouldn't have been able to tell the police that the cigarette guy was the one that helped me. Despite whatever crimes the cigarette guy committed in his past, he was the one that helped me that night. And for that, I'll be forever grateful.
Plot twist: the cigarette guy was the OG kidnapper. Oh, that would be a crazy twist. Bro knew the routes.